I thought my ex-husband was too rough in bed. After the divorce, I simply found a boyfriend who was impotent and lame. The little cripple was gentle and considerate, and his lame leg became a playful tease between us. One day, I went to his company to see him. But then I overheard him talking to a colleague. "Leo, you went so far as to fake a limp just to get close to your ex-sister-in-law. Did you really fall for her?" "Just for fun." As soon as I entered the office area, I heard someone joking. "Leo, how does it feel pretending to be a cripple to chase your own sister-in-law?" I froze at the door, holding my breath. After a long pause, a lazy male voice finally replied. "Not bad." Through the gap in the glass door, I saw a young man leaning back in his office chair. His eyes were cold, a typical aloof expression. "When are you planning to break up? Isn't it exhausting to fake a limp every day? Do you get tired of walking every day?" He scrolled through his phone impatiently. "I'll end it when I'm bored." I stayed silent, pretending I hadn't heard anything, and walked toward the elevator. I sent him a message. "I'm downstairs." "Where are you?" He replied instantly. "Be right there." Soon, a figure emerged from the elevator. Leo Clark was still wearing that gray shirt, but the coldness from earlier was gone, replaced by a gentle, caring smile. He limped toward me and asked softly, "Chloe, have you been waiting long?" "Not too long." He studied me for a few seconds, then asked with concern, "You seem upset. Did work not go well?" I looked at this young man who was so careful to please me and sighed. "It's nothing. Just a little tired." "Oh." He lowered his head, looking somewhat dejected. This demeanor was completely different from the man in the office earlier, so much so that I wondered if I had misheard. As we headed to the subway station, he suddenly remembered something. "Can you wait here for me?" I nodded, and he immediately limped away. While waiting, I hesitated for a long time before finally opening Lucas Gray's chat window. "What's the name of your half-brother?" The reply came quickly from someone I hadn't spoken to in a long time. "Lucas, Leo Clark." "Lucas, why?" Just as I was about to reply, I saw Leo returning. I quickly put my phone away. In his hands was a bouquet of roses, vibrant red, striking against the night. He handed them to me. "For me?" The young man nodded. "Don't be upset anymore, okay? I was Lucas's high school classmate. Marrying him was only because I was the top student approved by the Gray family. He needed a wife with matching academic credentials to maintain the family's reputation. And I happened to be the perfect candidate. When I was with him, I rarely had the chance to learn much about his family. But I did have some impression of this younger brother who had been studying abroad, a rebellious, unruly playboy. Even Lucas couldn't control him. And now, this supposedly difficult young master was standing meekly by my side, pretending to be so well behaved. I found it quite amusing. Exiting the subway station, I looked at him. "Hold me." Leo froze for a moment, his gaze gradually darkening. Before I could repeat myself, he had already pulled me into his embrace. He held me so tightly I could barely breathe. No matter how much he pretended to be pitifully frail in daily life, his inherently domineering nature always surfaced at times like this. Suddenly, I heard someone call my name from the roadside. Before I could react, the call came again. Turning to look, I saw a familiar figure standing by the street. It was the face that filled me with disgust. "Lucas?" Instinctively, I tensed up, then remembered we were already divorced. The man's expression was dark, his tone sarcastic. "Couldn't he wait, could you?" I forced a smile. "Young love is passionate." "Sorry to amuse you, Mr. Gray." Lucas's face darkened further, his gaze fixed on me, trying to get a clear look at the person beside me. Subconsciously, I turned Leo around, his back now facing Lucas. "It's getting late. We won't disturb you any longer," I said, quickly pulling Leo away. Glancing at Leo, I noticed he was staring ahead, lost in thought. Suddenly, I really wanted to know what expression Lucas would have if he found out the man I was dating was his half-brother. This game was too amusing. I didn't want it to end so soon. Once inside, Leo eagerly embraced me again. He gently kissed my forehead. I hate him. Who? Your ex-husband. Oh. I leaned close to his ear and whispered, funny, I hate him too. He carried me to the sofa. I gasped and clung to his shoulders. Smugly, he curled his lips, a flicker of mischief in his eyes. I remembered his colleague asking him earlier, how does it feel to finally win over your crush? He had replied, not bad. But for me, it was different. Seducing my ex-husband's brother, this feeling was exhilarating. Lucas had been wild too, back then. But his was the madness of a conqueror taking without ever caring for my feelings. Leo was different. He craved my approval. This thrill peaked when I learned his true identity. Just as he was about to kiss me, a sudden knock came at the door. Ignore it, he murmured. Soon, the knocking turned into a phone ringing. Might be urgent, I said, soothingly stroking Leo's head before picking up the phone. Open the door. It was Lucas. I'm not home. I saw you enter the building. Open the door. I paused. Now's not a good time. The sound of a lighter came through the door. With that man? We're divorced. It's none of your business. Then let us remarry. The words seemed to startle even him. Silence fell between us. The phone line was filled with nothing but static noise. I was the one who spoke first. You're drunk, let the driver take you home. Open the door first. It's really not a good time. Heh, Chloe, you've grown bolder. He paused for a moment before letting out a cold laugh. No, I forgot. Back in high school, when you were being bullied and begged me for help in tears, you've always been this audacious. The call ended. I was still lost in Lucas's words. I had loved him once. The first time I met Lucas was in high school. A group of girls had cornered me in the restroom, and he happened to pass by and stepped in to help. My feelings for him began with that heroic rescue. I never imagined I'd one day marry him. After marriage, I lived in a beautiful dream of my own making, believing that one person's effort could sustain a relationship for two. Until Sophia appeared and shattered my illusion. Sis? An arm wrapped around me from behind. I turned to see Leo standing there. Suddenly, I was curious, what would he do if he knew the real reason Lucas and I divorced was another woman? Would he keep pretending to have a limp to seduce Sophia Vance? Tired of the disabled act, maybe it was time for a new persona. The thought made me laugh. I patted his cheek. I want to be alone tonight. With that, I draped on my robe and got up, not noticing the complicated look in Leo's eyes. In the middle of the night, I was half awoken by the buzz of a phone. Tom, Nightfall Bar needs you to hold down the fort. Tom, some new models just arrived, insanely hot. Wanna grab a drink? Only then did I realize I'd picked up the wrong phone. The sound of running water came from the bathroom. I placed the phone back where it was. Soon, Leo emerged. Tiptoeing to the bedside, he picked up his phone, glanced at it, then tossed it aside as he reached for his jacket. I pretended to stir awake. Going out? Boss suddenly needs a proposal revised. Gotta pull an all-nighter. This late? It's almost midnight. Leo shrugged with a helpless expression. I smirked inwardly. What a shame this rich boy didn't pursue acting. Suppressing the urge to mock him, I gently ruffled his hair. Poor overworked soul. I get it. A few minutes after Leo left, I slowly got up, grabbed my phone, and followed. No particular reason, just wanted to see what face Leo, who played the obedient, pitiful role in front of me, was really wearing. After all, the first time I met Leo was at a cafe. That winter, freshly divorced, I was drowning in gloom. The loneliness was suffocating, so I often went to cafes to zone out. That's where I met Leo. Back then, due to his limp, he accidentally spilled coffee on a customer, who berated him harshly. The scene reminded me of my own high school bullying, stirring a deep sense of empathy. So, I stepped in and defended him. After that, he insisted on repaying me, his sincerity overwhelming. I may have a limp, but I promise I can take care of you. Having suffered so much growing up, seeing someone who seemed to share my pain made me feel close to him. So, I gave Leo that chance. And he delivered. He was gentle, considerate, and diligent, cooking me different meals every day, chatting with me, taking me on walks. Whenever I was down, he'd find ways to cheer me up. During that time, he always found excuses to stay by my side, starting with bringing me breakfast, then progressing to watching movies together. Gradually, I grew accustomed to his presence. Old Lady Zhang from downstairs would watch us with a knowing smile. "This young man treats you so well, he is clearly courting you." And so, we naturally became a couple. Back then, I never doubted his identity. His limp seemed so natural. Sometimes, when I pitied him and tried to support him, he'd even wince in pain during intimate moments, his eyes filled with apology, like a wounded animal. I trusted him completely. What kind of rich heir would humiliate himself like this, pretending to be disabled and enduring such hardship for me? It was more absurd than a spy thriller. In the past, I frequented Nightfall Bar always with Lucas. He'd get drunk, and I'd drive him home. On the way back, we'd indulge in pleasure in his flashy Porsche. Shaking off the memories, I headed out to find Leo, only for someone to grab my wrist. "Here for me?" Looking up, I saw Lucas staring down at me. Avoiding me for so long, only to show up now. Playing hard to get? "I'm here for my boyfriend." I avoided his scorching gaze and tried to leave, but his grip tightened, dragging me into the men's restroom. "Lucas. Go on, scream. Let everyone see." I glared at him hatefully. His hand trailed up my shoulder. "Today, he touched you here. None of your damn business. Let go. Divorce has made you brave. You never dared talk to me like this before." Lucas sneered, "Let's break up." "On what grounds?" "Chloe, you should know I'm a petty man. I don't like others touching what's mine." His fingers traced my face. "Don't test my patience. You know the consequences." I wanted to argue, but he cut me off. "Divorcing you was my concession, not a free pass for you to escape me completely. This past year, I've been too indulgent, letting you forget your place." Lucas had always been domineering and arrogant, acting as though the world revolved around him. If he wanted, he could obliterate all my efforts in an instant. But why should he? What right did a cheater have to say such things? "You have Sophia Vance, that refined artist, don't you? Why bother with me?" At the mention of her name, Lucas frowned. "I told you, it's just a professional collaboration." "Collaboration requires hugging and clinging?" "The paparazzi even caught it on camera. It was a polite embrace." "Must you overreact?" This was pointless. What a bastard. I struggled to break free. Just then, footsteps sounded outside. "Bro, are you in there?" My body stiffened. It was Leo's voice. Lucas moved to open the door, but I yanked him back. He gave me a meaningful look, and I quickly averted my gaze. Lucas remained still. "What is it?" Through the door, Leo replied, "I'm heading out first. Have the driver take me." "So early?" "Yeah, got some things to handle." Lucas pulled out his phone and instructed the driver to pick him up. Only when the footsteps faded did I relax. When I looked up, Lucas was studying me. "You know him?" "No." "Then why stop me? A man and a woman alone in a room at this hour, how would that look?" With that, I pushed the door open and left. This time, he didn't stop me. Leo left in Lucas's car. No way would he return to my tiny rented place. Lucas's driver knew my address inside out. Since he pretended to be disabled to get close to me, he wouldn't want Lucas finding out. I wasn't in a hurry to go home either, wandering aimlessly through the streets. The night was deep, and the roads were nearly empty. Under the neon lights, the gallery's display window stood out sharply. A poster for Sophia's art exhibition loomed ahead. Her mocking words from the past resurfaced. Without Lucas, someone like you wouldn't even be fit to shine my shoes. Back then, I gloated. Yet he chose someone like me over a so-called artist like you. But later, an intimate video of her and Lucas in a bar spread all over the internet. I tearfully begged Lucas to clarify the situation. Lucas simply said, "Chloe, can you stop being so petty?" That's when I woke up. Yes, they were from the same world. Sophia and Lucas' South families were very close. Sophia was a rising artist personally promoted by Lucas. And I was just the dutiful wife Lucas married. Even at our wedding, I had barely met his family. It wasn't that I didn't want to fit in, it was that Lucas never gave me the chance. Perhaps to him, I was just an expendable accessory. From the Cold War to the divorce, Lucas always thought I was too sensitive. He believed I'd regret it one day. And I did regret it. I regretted not seeing his true colors sooner. As I neared home, I received a message from Leo. It was a selfie of him lying in bed. Leo, going to sleep. How ironic, pure acting. I deliberately asked. Me, resting this early? Leo, yeah, exhausted from overtime today. Then, he sent another photo from under the covers. Leo, miss you. I smirked and replied. Me, get some good rest. The next morning, I was startled awake by the sound of the door opening. Walking out of the bedroom, I saw Leo setting breakfast on the dining table. Surprised, I asked, "Why are you here so early?" Leo put down the bag and came over to give me a warm hug. "Didn't he want you to go hungry, so I went out of my way to get your favorites." I noticed the logo on the bag. It was from that trendy breakfast spot in the East District. At least an hour's drive from here. Touched, I kissed his cheek. While washing up, I absent-mindedly checked Twitter. A trending topic caught my eye. #Sophia's Cozy Morning #. Clicking in, I saw a breakfast photo she had posted. The caption read, "Thanks to someone's loving breakfast, starting the day full of inspiration." Before exiting, I caught the name of the shop in the photo. The same one Leo had bought from. A coincidence? Huh. Suddenly, I lost my appetite. When I stepped out of the bathroom, Leo was anxiously waiting by the door, radiating unease. "Something to say?" I asked. Leo hesitated, then finally spoke. "I have to go to Shanghai for a few days next week." "Work?" "No. I found a specialist who treats leg injuries. He says there's still a chance for me to recover." For a moment, I almost laughed out loud. I had wondered how he'd spin this lie. And this was the best he could come up with? I cleared my throat. "That's great. Want me to come with you?" Leo flinched, quickly waving his hands. "No need to trouble yourself, just focus on your work. I'm worried the treatment might not be effective and make you anxious over nothing." "Don't worry, you'll definitely get better." Of course, it was all an act. How could it not work? But I still forced myself to comfort him. "Even if it doesn't work, it's fine. I don't care." Leo seemed deeply moved and hugged me tightly. He said he had to go to work, lingered with me for a while, and then left. Not long after he was gone, the doorbell rang again. "Did you forget something again?" Before I could finish, my lips were sealed. A familiar scent instantly enveloped me. I pushed the person away forcefully and wiped my mouth. "Lucas, have you lost your mind? Who was that man who just left?" "No one's been here." "Chloe Goodwin, do you take me for a fool? If you already saw, why bother asking? Do you even know who that man really is?" "Thanks to you, I found out a few days ago." Lucas gripped my wrist tightly, his eyes bloodshot. "How dare you do this?" It was the first time I'd seen him so out of control. I met his gaze. What did I do? You should be asking him why he did this. 7 years together. If you had truly cared for me, if you had let me into your life, I wouldn't have been fooled by him. We glared at each other, memories flooding in until I could barely breathe. Suddenly, his tone softened, and he pulled me into his arms, whispering in my ear. Leave him, okay? I can let this go. I couldn't help but laugh coldly. No. I'm not yours anymore. Who I'm with is none of your business. Lucas pressed his lips together, barely containing his anger. What do you want, then? Money? I can give you that. Or status? Do you think he can give you that? I've already been a wealthy man's wife. Do you really think I care about that now? Then why? To get back at me? I smirked mockingly. Mr. Gray, you're asking the wrong person. You should be asking Leo. Why did he go to such lengths to get close to me? Lucas's expression darkened. He raised a hand to touch my face. You've changed. I stared at him in silence. After a long pause, his grip suddenly tightened. He seized my chin and kissed me again, ignoring my resistance. I bit his lip hard, drawing blood. He pulled back in pain, wiping his bleeding lip with the back of his hand before suddenly smiling. Chloe, you're making me regret letting you go. You'll come back to me eventually. After Lucas left, my legs gave out and I collapsed to the floor. It took several deep breaths before I could calm myself. Just as I thought Lucas might make another move and braced myself for confrontation, unexpectedly, he vanished without a trace. On the day Leo left for Shanghai, I received a message from him. Leo, on my way. Wish me a smooth recovery. Attached was a photo of his high-speed rail ticket. I replied with a thumbs-up sticker. As I exited the chat, a notification popped up on my social media. Sophia's latest post. Sophia, Shanghai, here I come. New exhibition opening. As a popular artist, Sophia's updates were always pushed to me by the algorithm. I usually scrolled past, but this time, I clicked. Her location showed the train station, and she had posted a ticket to Shanghai. From the same breakfast spot to the same destination. It hit me then. I scrutinized the details in Leo's photo. In the corner, the edge of a luxury handbag was barely visible. I flipped through Sophia's street-style photos. That bag was her favorite. Every detail screamed that they didn't just know each other, they were close. I started questioning myself. Had I been wrong from the beginning? Maybe Leo's motive for approaching me wasn't about Lucas at all. Maybe it was Sophia. My history with Sophia dated back to our college graduation. After moving into Lucas's villa, I learned he had a childhood best friend who called him late at night, asked for favors, and acted coy to get her way. I got jealous, and we fought. He snapped, if I liked her, we'd have been together long before you. Later, the Gray family pushed him to marry me for my academic background. But he dragged his feet until Sophia suddenly returned for an art exhibition. Then, he rushed me to the registry office. No proposal, no ceremony. That day, Sophia cried dramatically and said to me, "You really think Lucas married you out of love? He's just running away. I'll always matter most to him." At first, I didn't believe her. Until photos surfaced of them embracing in a bar. The internet assumed he was her secret lover. Lucas never clarified. Instead, he helped her secure an overseas exhibition, boosting her international fame. Finally, I saw the truth. But I still didn't understand. If Sophia sent Leo to get close to me, why? In that love triangle, she had already won. A few days later, Lucas messaged again. This time, no words, just pictures. In the photos, a man in a sharp suit stood beside a woman, head bowed slightly. She held hers high, her expression haughty. The two figures were all too familiar to me. Leo and Sophia. Want to know the truth? Here's the explanation. Leo has had a crush on Sophia for years, but he knew she liked me, so he kept trying to set us up. When he found out I got married, he was the most devastated. They stayed in touch all these years. Who would thought this fake cripple was such a lovesick fool? I stayed silent as Lucas continued. He went to Shanghai this time specifically to attend the opening of Sophia's art exhibition. My guess? He got close to you to cut off any chance of us reconciling, just to create an opportunity for Sophia. I thought Leo faking a limp was already absurd enough. Turns out his real motive for approaching me was even more ridiculous. I asked Lucas, why are you telling me all this? Aren't you angry? Angry? Other than finding it laughable, I didn't feel much. Maybe all my rage had been exhausted during those 2 years of marriage. When he gets back, you should end things. If you don't want to face him, I'll talk to him. I scoffed. Lucas, you always love meddling in other people's business. Aside from telling me to break up, is there anything else? If not, I'm hanging up. Lucas hesitated. You still want to stay with him? Why not? He doesn't love you at all. So what? You didn't love me either, and I still married you. Silence on the other end. I heard the click of a lighter. You were special to me. Oh really? Then I hope you find someone even more special. That night, I had a dream. I dreamed of my first year in college when I suddenly got a call from a neighbor. She said the old house had collapsed from a leak during the rain. My dad's leg was crushed and needed surgery. Back then, I'd just gotten into university, and my family had spent everything they had to send me. Even with all my part-time jobs, I was still scrambling to scrape together tuition. Out of options, I went to Lucas. Nervous, anxious, uneasy. But without a word, Lucas immediately contacted the hospital and told me. I'll cover the surgery costs first. You can pay me back when you're able. Right now, the most important thing is getting your father treated. Don't worry about the rest. From then on, I owed Lucas a debt. Later, I mustered the courage to confess my feelings. He said, fine. I like obedient girls. Just like that, I stayed by his side for 7 whole years. And then, the dream filled with endless waiting. On my birthday, he attended the opening of Sophia's art exhibition. On our wedding anniversary, he stayed out all night. I once felt grateful to Lucas for saving me. I also loved him deeply. But I hated him just as intensely. Trapped in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from, I struggled to break free. In a daze, I thought I heard someone calling my name. Chloe, Chloe? Then I was lifted into someone's arms. Lucas, why are you here? My voice came out hoarse when I spoke. You weren't answering your phone. I was worried something happened to you. You passed out from low blood sugar. You need to go to the hospital. So it was low blood sugar. No wonder I felt so dizzy. As Lucas carried me out, I suddenly realized the deadbolt on my door had been smashed open. Lucas's expression was icy. You wouldn't answer, so I had no choice but to break the lock. Me? Me. As my senses returned, I gradually regained clarity. Lucas sat by the hospital bed, his shirt sleeves rolled up, revealing that silver watch. I stared at it, lost in thought. I had bought it for him with my first paycheck after grad school, spent every last penny. 15,000 yuan. At the time, it felt exorbitantly expensive. But one day, I overheard Sophia ask Lucas, Lucas, didn't you just get that limited edition Patek Philippe? Why are you wearing this cheap thing? Chloe gave it to me. Sophia made a disgusted face. Wouldn't he wearing knockoff junk like that give you a rash? And what did Lucas say? Just humoring her for a few days. I had given everything I had. And all I got in return was empty appeasement. After that, I never bought him another piece of jewelry. Now he's wearing it on his hand again. Does he want to pull the same trick and sweet talk me once more? Too bad, I'm no longer that naive girl from back then. You always neglect yourself like this, not even eating in time when your blood sugar is low, Lucas scolded as soon as he saw I was awake. It was just a momentary oversight. This kind of situation is dangerous, Lucas paused, then said, after you recover, move in with me. I'll arrange for someone to take care of you. No. Is it because of Leo again? I stayed silent, so he pressed, or is it because of Sophia? Frustrated, he continued, what will it take for you to believe that there's nothing between me and Sophia? It's simple, make her disappear from your world. Can you do that? That's unrealistic. Our family's business ties are inseparable, and I hold the majority stake in her studio, Lucas said wearily. I've already sent her to Paris to develop her career. What more do you want from me? I scoffed. Sending Sophia to Paris for a year-long art exhibition, that's what he calls handling it. I didn't want to argue further. Lucas frowned. I still don't understand why you resent her so much. Chloe, you've never been the vindictive type. If a woman cost you your marriage and your child, would you forgive her? What are you talking about? Tears began to fall. I lost my baby because of her. That can't be. I wiped my tears. A month after the divorce, I found out I was pregnant. But Sophia came with her assistant to pick a fight, and in the scuffle, I fell. The baby was gone. That day, I had just had a prenatal checkup. The doctor said everything was fine. I couldn't finish, lowering my head. If you don't believe me, ask Leo. He was the one who took me to the hospital that day. Lucas staggered back, his steps unsteady as he turned and left. After Lucas was gone, I drifted back into a hazy sleep. When I woke again, Leo was sitting by the bed. What are you doing here? Leo pressed his lips together, clearly unhappy. I saw your message about being hospitalized and came back immediately. Only then did I remember sending Leo a photo from the hospital earlier. But I hadn't expected him to return, especially since Sophia's exhibition opening was today. It's nothing serious, just needed some glucose. His expression was stern. Of course I do worry. You fainted from low blood sugar before. Remember last time? I was the one who noticed something was wrong at the cafe and got you to the hospital in time. I remember, I teased deliberately. My savior, always showing up right on time. Leo's face flushed instantly. Just as he was about to speak, his phone rang. My eyes flicked to the screen before I could stop myself. Sophia. He fumbled to decline the call, then glanced at me nervously. I pretended not to notice. What's wrong? Not answering? Leo shook his head. No, it's just a spam call. A spam call? Huh. They're really just lying to my face, aren't they? The illness came on fiercely but faded quickly. By the next morning, I had mostly recovered. Leo busied himself helping me check out. Meanwhile, Lucas sent a message. Lucas, ready to be discharged? I'll come pick you up. Me, no need. Leo's here. Lucas, heh. Then I'm definitely coming. Lucas, as if I care about some Leo. Everything's packed. We can go, Leo said. Ignoring Lucas' messages, I tucked my phone into my bag and left with him. Only after getting into the car did I remember my front door lock was broken. A headache flared. I had no idea if the repairman had fixed it yet. My door lock is broken. I haven't had it repaired. Let us find somewhere nearby to rest, Leo said without pressing further. On the way, my phone kept vibrating. Lucas kept calling. Annoyed, I deliberately sent him a hotel location pin. Don't bother me. Then I blocked him. Once in the hotel room, Leo moved closer eagerly. But images of Sophia's Paris exhibition flashed through my mind. I turned my head, and his kiss landed on my cheek. Wait, I just got out of the hospital. I'm still weak, nothing too intense. Disappointment flickered in Leo's eyes as he slowly pulled back. Without physical closeness, it seemed neither of us had much to say. The room fell into silence. I focused on my phone, sensing his gaze. Something to say? Leo nodded slightly. There's a secret I've never told you. My leg is actually. Before he could finish, another call cut in. Lucas. I hung up, and he called again. I hung up once more, and he persisted. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. Answer it. Before Leo could react, I picked up the call myself. Leo, put Chloe on the phone. Before Leo could speak, the voice continued, stop pretending to be crippled. I already know everything. Right now, immediately, let Chloe answer. And so, in that moment, I witnessed Leo's entire emotional journey from shock, to panic, and finally, to silence. Honestly, the rapid shifts in his expression could have been a masterclass in acting. Why didn't you answer my calls? I didn't, yet you still found me. You did this on purpose? To make me confront Leo myself? Weren't you the one pushing me to break up? After a brief silence, Lucas suddenly laughed. Chloe, you've gotten sharper. I'll be right there. Tell that fake cripple to wait for me. Hanging up, I met Leo's complicated gaze. When did you figure it out? Which part? That you were faking your injury, or that you got close to me because of Sophia? If it's the former, a while ago. The latter, I only found out recently. Leo's shoulders slumped. I was going to come clean today. About your leg being healed? No, he raked a hand through his hair. Let me pursue you again. We both fell silent. After a pause, he grasped at straws. Yes, let us start over. You gave up your own feelings for Sophia? I couldn't believe it. What makes you think I'd agree to that? It wasn't because of her, it was me. I fell in love with me? Leo nodded slightly. I laughed. He's really committed to the act. I thought he was smarter than this. Do you know why I divorced Lucas in the first place? Because of Sophia. So why would I ever agree to be with someone who only approached me for her sake? I'm sorry, there must be some misunderstanding between you two. Then you're just plain cruel. I cut off his excuses. I don't blame Sophia for having feelings for my husband. You can't force emotions. But she shouldn't have hurt my mother. Back then, Lucas and I were about to marry. My mother had just undergone surgery and was in poor health. Somehow, Sophia found out which hospital room she was in. She went there and told my mom I was some old man's mistress. My mother was just an ordinary rural woman. Her greatest hope for me was to get a good education and live a stable life. She couldn't handle the shock. Even though I explained we were getting married, Lucas refused to give me a proper wedding. My mother didn't believe me. The anger triggered a heart attack, and she passed away quickly. That kind of hatred? I'll never forgive it. Taking a deep breath, I looked at Leo. That video Sophia secretly took of Lucas while he was drunk, you were the one who had it deleted, weren't you? Leo pressed his lips together. If you want to apologize, at least show some sincerity. I stared at him. Give me the video. His eyes flickered. Suddenly, I felt exhausted. Never mind. Just go. Lucas will be here soon. Will you get back together with him? None of your business. I'll give it to you. Leo met my gaze. When I said I love you, I meant it. I've never felt this way about anyone before. I want to pursue you again as my real self. After we marry, we can go abroad, somewhere without Lucas or Sophia, and start fresh. Just you and me. By the time Lucas arrived, Leo was already gone. I'd been low-key hoping to see them fight. You look disappointed, Lucas remarked. I thought he would confront you head-on, but I didn't expect him to hide as soon as he heard you were coming. Going behind my back to do something like this, how low can you get? His expression darkened. You're right. He just proposed to me earlier, it really was quite shameless. What did you say? I haven't given him an answer yet. Lucas's veins bulged on his forehead. What kind of delusion is this? Once I reveal that you're my ex-wife, my family would never agree to it. I don't have to see your family. I lived just fine for 7 years without them before. I've been waiting for the right moment. It's been so long, Mr. Gray. I'm 30 now, no longer the naive girl who could be pushed around. I was wrong. Lucas stepped closer. Let us remarry. We'll have the wedding we never had. Hearing the word wrong from Mr. Gray's mouth is truly rare. Will you agree? I'm planning to apply for a PhD abroad and looking for a suitable advisor's recommendation. The moment the words left my mouth, Lucas's face darkened. You're not going. Then forget it. Mr. Gray, you can leave now. If you don't fix my door lock soon, I'll have to call the police. You're really set on going? I stayed silent. Lucas sighed. Fine. But we get married first. Seems we can't reach an agreement. I thought you came here to reconcile. Lucas chuckled lightly. All right, I'll help you make the arrangements. Oh, and about that Sophia situation. At the mention of the name, Lucas's expression shifted sharply. I'll give you an explanation. For our child's sake. The next day, I received a video from Leo. It was the complete footage of Sophia and Lucas embracing and kissing back then. That photo had gone viral online, but the real video showed Lucas drunk and being forcefully kissed. The scene looked picture perfect, clearly a carefully staged setup. I had checked the bar before. They said the surveillance footage had been deleted at someone's request. Lucas obviously had no intention of pursuing the matter. The only ones with the power and means to help Sophia pull this off were either Lucas himself or Leo. I contacted the media directly and released the video, along with the exposure of Lucas's married status at the time. The internet exploded instantly, shooting straight to the top of trending searches. Holy shit, they were hyping them up as childhood sweethearts, genius artist, ex-business tycoon. Fans were obsessing over them. Turns out he was married? This is too dramatic. Finally, this master is exposed. Always plagiarizing others' work, acting all high and mighty, using her connections to suppress newcomers. With all her scandals, she still got away with everything. Let us see how she wriggles out of this one. In the past, any negative news about Sophia would be suppressed immediately. But this time it was beyond control. As the internet erupted in an uproar, Lucas called me. Did you post the video? Did she come crying to you again? You two are so close. I said I'd handle it. That kind of lie doesn't work on me anymore. I hung up without another word. At the same time, I got a message from Leo. Leo, she came to see me. Leo, I ignored her. I smirked and replied, good boy. Leo, can I see you? Me, no. Me, I still can't forgive what you did. The scandal had barely spread for a few days before Sophia released a statement. Sophia, thank you for your concern. We grew up together, there was never any affair. P.S. He was single at the time. She even posted a childhood photo of her and Lucas. Her hired supporters immediately flooded the comments. Sophia has been gorgeous since she was a kid. I knew Sophia wasn't that kind of person. Sophia and Lucas are such a perfect match. I watched the comments coldly, pressing a hand to my chest. I expected this. Why should I even feel upset? But a few minutes later, Lucas, who never posted anything, suddenly made a public statement. I am Lucas Gray. At the time the photo was taken, I was indeed married. I sincerely apologize to my wife. Currently, I am trying to win her back. She is a private individual, please do not disturb her. The message left me speechless. I checked it over and over. It was really from him. I froze. My phone vibrated. Lucas, this is my sincerity. Over the next few days, I focused on preparing my materials for studying abroad, temporarily ignoring the online drama. Then, I received a call from an unknown number. Chloe, why can't you just let go? The great artist herself is calling someone as insignificant as me. What an honor. Leo actually betrayed me for you. I underestimated you. Flattered. I owe it all to your generous help. Sophia fell silent. You think a single video can ruin me? Of course not. That was just an appetizer. A thank you for sending Leo my way. The next gift will ensure you disappear from the art world forever. Arrogant. Lucas and Leo would never help you. They care about me the most. I chuckled. I never counted on them. From the very beginning, all I wanted was for them not to interfere while I carried out my plans. After Mom died, I'd been keeping tabs on Sophia. In the industry, she relied on her powerful connections to do whatever she wanted, arrogant, unscrupulous, and offending far too many people. Sophia's leverage will surface with patience. I got in touch with her former assistant who resigned from the company, a girl who had endured long-term workplace bullying from her and left with severe depressive symptoms. After days of interaction, I finally uncovered crucial leads. In this industry, plagiarism seems to be an open secret, but I never expected her to be so brazen. A significant portion of her work is suspected of being copied. After thorough investigation, we found the original authors and evidence. This is also why I no longer wanted to keep up pretenses with Leo. After hanging up the phone, I directly contacted the Copyright Association and filed a formal complaint against her plagiarism. Lucas was the first to get the news. Do you really have to go this far? What's wrong, Mr. Gray? Feeling sorry for her? Lucas rubbed his temples. Do you have any idea how much this will cost me in investments? Couldn't you have waited? Should I just stand by and let her destroy me too? At this, Lucas sighed. Her family has deep roots in the system. A mere apology and compensation will smooth things over. At one T really hurt her. Exactly. I tapped Lucas's chest with my finger. It all depends on Mr. Gray's sincerity now. 3 months later. Lucas saw me off at the airport. Message me as soon as you land in New York. I'll come find you once I've wrapped things up here. Got it. So naggy. Lucas looked at me helplessly. We'd both been busy during this time. I was applying to prestigious universities abroad, while Lucas was busy cutting ties with her family. Thanks to his maneuvering, her plagiarism scandal finally went public. Society has zero tolerance for such scandals now. Her family was furious at Lucas's betrayal, and the relationship between the two families was severed completely. Several of Lucas's companies also took a heavy hit. At the same time, my relationship with Leo was exposed to both families. Leo was forcibly sent abroad by his family but refused to leave. He got into a car accident while trying to run away. I visited him in the hospital. The young man lay in bed with a cast on his leg, his eyes reddening the moment he saw me. I missed you so much. I looked at Leo but didn't he respond to his affection. Instead, I simply said, take care of yourself. After a long silence, he asked, did you ever like me? I was tempted. Young, handsome, gentle, who wouldn't he be? But so what? I smiled. There are plenty of great men in this world. Even without you, I'd still meet someone better. In the airport, the boarding announcement for the flight to New York began to play. I dragged my suitcase and said goodbye to Lucas. He seemed to sense something, holding me tightly. Wait for me, I patted his back. No response. After passing through security, I glanced back at Lucas in the distance. A faint smile crossed my lips. I turned around, snapped my SIM card in half, and tossed it into the trash. Then, I tore up the plane ticket to New York. 6 months later. At a networking cocktail party at Stanford Business School, the conversation turned to lies people had told in their lives. Who hasn't told a few lies? I bet Chloe hasn't. She looks so innocent. Holding a glass of champagne, I chuckled softly at the comment but didn't join the discussion. In this life of mine, I've told far too many lies. For instance, I knew Lucas desperately wanted children. But I was never pregnant. faking a miscarriage was just to stir his guilt. Or how, 4 years ago, I had already met Leo. I remembered clearly how he stood beside Sophia, looking at me with disdain. Just some poor girl from the countryside, not worth the effort. And another thing, I never applied to schools in New York. Back then, the professor Lucas introduced me to was a highly respected figure in academia, arrogant and dismissive. I can write you a recommendation letter, but only for New York University. Smiling, I handed him an envelope. What's this? He frowned as he opened it. Inside was a photo from a private club featuring none other than the professor, surrounded by young women. His face paled. I said calmly, "It's just a recommendation letter. A single word from you, and surely you wouldn't want your reputation tarnished. Of course, I'd also appreciate it if you kept this from Lucas." Gazing at the moonlight outside the window, my thoughts drifted. "Chloe, are you feeling unwell?" A voice with a foreign accent spoke in Mandarin. It was Mike, the captain of the school basketball team, blonde, blue-eyed, sunny, and handsome. Plenty of girls had crushes on him. I smiled lightly. "I'm fine, just a little tipsy." Mike handed me a glass of juice and sat beside me, his eyes unable to hide his admiration. I couldn't help but think of Leo. With a soft laugh, I clinked glasses with Mike. On the journey of life, you meet all kinds of people. They come, they go, they pass through. In the end, they all become just fleeting figures.